Yeah, I think it's important that we mention that we want to thank the people here
For
at
sure,
the
yes.
Sino-Israeli Industrial Park for
Right.
allowing us to have this
Hosting us
show
on
here.
so nicely.
Thank you very much.
And it's
yeah.
an amazing place, actually.
It
Yeah.
is fantastic.
It's the first
It-
time for me here today.
Yeah, it's you saw the parks.
No, I want to
It's
come back.
Amazing! It's an amazing place. The architecture, it's really nice.
It's made to look up something with Israeli.
Yeah. The architect of
Influences,
these
yeah.
the architect of these two buildings, Amnon Richter,
Okay.
is a very known Israeli architect. So it has the Israeli vibe. There are a lot of plants brought from Israel.
Oh, okay.
These are from the lake.
These are from the lake.
I chose them yesterday.
Right. Yeah, you went around. and you
I'm going
chose.
to take them. Okay. No
So-
misunderstanding, please.
So, but okay, if we are talking about it,
Mhm.
but there aren't really any Israeli companies here right now.
In this park,
I don't think
no.
so. I don't think
not
so.
yet.
But is it something that
That's
they're working on?
That's the idea. There are many parks around Dongguan.
Right.
Yeah, around Guangdong.
Industrial park.
Sino-Israeli industrial parks. The name, attracts. This park is special because between Israel and China, there is a special relation on innovation. We have something called the innovation committee that sits twice a year, once in Israel and once in China, and really focus on innovation. It's something very unique to Israel from China's point of view. And in this committee has selected 4 parks to be the leading in each in sector. So this park was elected to be leading in terms of water management and the environment. So therefore, it's the most difficult one, because it's not the obvious one of high-tech companies that will make money quickly. So
Right.
therefore, it takes more time here. It doesn't mean that Israeli companies
Right.
have to be here, but there are companies that have a connection either to the area, to the sector of water management, or have to do with Israel. They do business with Israel, or
Right.
they represent Israeli technologies, etc.
How does it work? Who invests to create this kind of park?
Not Israel.
Right. Right.
Usually it's
Private?
It's a mixture. It's a PPP. It's a private. Partnership with the state, with the public. In this case, it's the government of. It's
Songshan Lake? Or?
no. Songshan Lake has to do with it. It started. It's one of the 4 of. So it's also federal government money here.
Okay, Guangdong.
Not Guangdong, Beijing. From
Beijing,
Beijing.
okay.
And also, of course, private sector is very much involved. We are in a very nice place, area of the city.
Right, beautiful,
Huawei,
yeah.
it's
Huawei is right here.
next
it's
door.
right here. So
It's
we
right
are
here.
we're in good. They are cool by
It felt really nice to me. I took some video. I come to a place. I'm in Dongguan. I live here for 17 years, and I go to and I see the Israeli flag right there, up there. It's kinda nice.
It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
And here there are some big private enterprises that invested, because you see there is a huge invention of money
Yes,
here.
Yes.
And what I like about this place, that they think about the future, because when you're talking about innovation, the relationship between Israel and it's a long-term investment. When you talk about China and other countries, okay, it's sell and buy and sell. It's not the case in Israel. Israel is a small market. 9 million people. Here it's investment for the future, because what Israel is selling nowadays is ideas. We sell ideas, and we don't sell products. And when Chinese invest in us, it's not that they invest in other countries, that they buy, real estate. In Israel, and it's hard. They come and invest in a idea, in a startup. It's not easy. It's not easy for the Chinese market to do that. If you come to think about, most Chinese investments are something that you can touch.
Something solid, yeah.
Something
Right.
solid. In Israel, it's not the case. But I think that China understood the potential and the benefits that they can have by investing in Israeli companies.
Long
And
term.
This is in long term, and this is something special. And this is something very unique, and it's.
What do
very
you say?
difficult.
Maybe it's a hard question. What do you say about? There is a lot of investment from China in Israel, right?
Yeah.
They bought Nova, or is it Osem?
Nova a couple of years ago.
Right, they bought the biggest milk
Yeah.
producer, and they're building some ports in Israel, and I don't know, tunnels, whatever. And And some people are not so happy about that.
Well, it's a global question. You know,
Right, it
how
is,
much
not
you
just-
open. I think that Israel
No, but the question with Israel was,
is strategic.
yes, they have ties with countries that Israel don't have ties with, and yeah.
So I try. What we did, what we're doing with China, for example, they're building now the Tel Aviv subway. It's our biggest logistic project that we have. I think that Chinese as well understand the restrictions that we can have, and there are certain issues that we don't collaborate. Because Israel is also a very special country, we have a quite of a unique environment that we try not to rely on other countries because of our history, because of our experience. Therefore, I think that both sides here understand the yes and no's. And in terms of innovation, we have no limit to cooperate with Chinese parties or Chinese companies. It can be something of software, and it can be something like what you have here. That is something very that you can touch, for example.
Right. And it's innovation, but Israeli innovation, but in China, made totally in China, right? Developed.
A lot of countries around the world are kind of like falling in line with Huawei's 5G network. Is Israel one of those? Or
we are not there yet. We prefer to wait a little bit before we go into 5G. Israel, on one hand, is very technological advanced. On the other hand, not so much. For example, we are stuck in the payment with credit card. We don't have WeChat. We don't have e-payment. People don't like it in Israel, so we are stuck.
But in the US as well, right?
In the US, they have SMS. Come on, they don't use WhatsApp or WeChat. It's ridiculous, the Americans.
Right. It's even more
backwards.
But you mean as a country that's supposedly very innovative and everything,
we're not there.
But I think the innovation is inside here, in Israel.
Exactly. So 5G is not a big issue for us right away. For us, we have other preoccupations like big data issues. Israel is. You're talking about before about the biological, the biometric passport. On one hand, okay, we accept it. On the other hand, we don't have. We're very individuals. Big data is a little bit scary for us.
Right. So what kind of what can you tell us, like what's going on now with the relationship in terms of innovation? Or in Guangdong or all around China, between Israel and China?
So basically what's happening is that Israeli companies come here for two things. First of all, to get investments, because the Israeli companies, they are small, and what they need is capital to continue their elaboration.
So VCs, Chinese VCs and stuff like that?
VCs mostly, and especially here in Shenzhen, in Guangzhou, there is money.
Right.
And it used to be more in Hong Kong before also, and I think that Chinese understand that they can slowly changing, invest in startups, invest in the future. That's the first thing. Secondly, we need to produce. Israel is not a production site. We need place to produce. This is a great example. It's an Israeli idea or technology, but where we would produce it? In China.
Right.
That's the second thing. And the third thing is the market. Now, Chinese are really trying for Israeli companies to come here, but unless they give these three things, they will not come. And this is something that is very hard for us to explain, because sometimes you have this beautiful park. I'm sure that every Israeli company that will get here free room, free Wi-Fi. It's not enough. They will get the investment. It's not enough for us to come. I need the market as well. Okay, so this is the big challenge. But there are a lot of Israeli companies on high tech that are doing it. We have good examples. It takes time.